Hey, all my movie maniacs out there, it is that time once again, and man, I got one for you. It's foreign cinema. It's a bit of an exploitation action foreign film, and it's called Gun Woman. Came out this past year, and let me tell you, I want to read the description to you because this description will be a lot better than the way I could probably ever put it. A brilliant doctor on a quest for revenge buys a young woman and trains her to be the ultimate assassin, implanting gun parts into her body that she must pull out and assemble later and use that weapon to destroy her target before she bleeds to death. Yes, that is the premise of this film. I know, it's pretty out there, right? But what do you expect for some independent exploitation foreign cinema? And man, this thing really has it all. First off, we get kind of, not two stories, but in the beginning we get introduced to a couple of American characters, okay? And it's kind of got that narration, sukiyaki Django type of feel to where, you know, you get a US, American type of guys telling this story, and then there's the Japanese story, the meat of the story that we see play out on screen. And I will say the American shots seemed a little bit lower in production value than the Japanese action shots, the meat of the story. That was shot really well and seemed like it had a decent production value, a higher production value than the opening scenes, that is sure. And I just enjoyed this film. It was just so crazy, so out there. I mean, just when you think you had some things figured out, they just throw another wrench in the works, you know? Now, you've got Asami in here who plays Gun Woman. Now, she was in Machine Girl, and she also even made a cameo as a zombie in Zombie Ass in the Toilet of the Damned. And I loved her performance in this film as the Mayumi, the gun woman, the girl who was a meth head who's turned to assassin, and who's not quite sure if this is still what she wants to do when you get to the point of talking about putting gun pieces in her. But the action sequence she's in is great, and I give her total props because there's one scene in here where she's fighting completely naked, fighting this big dude, and man, is that a knockdown, drag-out fight. Let me tell you, the fight scenes in here, the ones that you do get, are pretty wild and crazy. And the guy who is playing the mastermind, I enjoyed his character as well. The doctor, he's, let's see, Kairi Narita, and I enjoyed his performance as well as this guy who's just bent on revenge and doesn't care what he's really doing to someone. He just wants to focus on his goal and use the tool, and that tool just happens to be the gun woman. So, yeah, you get some disturbing imagery in here, especially with the character of Hamazaki's son. He's the target in here, played by Noriaki Kamada. And man, what his character does, let me tell you, folks, disturbing imagery, to be sure. Very disturbing character. He does things to women that make you really, really, really want some revenge played on him. And you really want to see something nasty happen to him, okay? And so, he is definitely a vile character, but played very well by Kamada. And I enjoyed all these characters in here. Now, they are a bit cliche, I will say, but this story definitely has props for originality. And, oh man, just the direction of this action sequence was good. You could see what was going on. Now, this was directed and written by Kurando Mitsutaki, who was Whitebeard in Heroes. And he hasn't done many films. I think he only did one other feature than this. And that makes me want to look at that other feature because this film really caught my eye. I mean, I had fun with it. Now, again, it's got the exploitation elements in there. So there's a lot of nudity in here. And there's also a lot of blood. Practical blood. Woohoo! Thanks for practical blood. A lot of practical blood in here. So I will say I give this 3 stubs. I had a lot of fun with this film. It is crazy. It is out there. It is like bonkers. It goes from being what you think is going to be kind of a tongue-in-cheek, poke fun, ha-ha film to some really disturbing images to just all-out kind of action at the end to a surprise ending that may not be so much a surprise if you watch enough of these films. But I think it's worth your time if you can find it anywhere. Watch it with the subtitles, obviously, with the better performances. And Gun Woman should be on your list for anyone who likes the Machine Girl and the Tokyo Gore Police and any of those extreme action films, and those who like exploitation cinema from the foreign cinema scene, because it is definitely going to be a film for you. And that'll about do it for us here at The Final Cut. Thanks for watching as always. Thank you to all my supporters. We're over 600 subscribers. It's all because of you guys and your support. Thank you so much. Let's shoot for 700 now. And until next time, folks, keep that ticket stuff.